Your theories are the worst kind of popular tripe, your methods are sloppy, and your conclusions are highly questionable.
All right, here we are back with our party. I need to pilfer the equipment of everyone, which I have almost done. I just need to take the gear off of these clowns and put them up here. Alright, so Fat Shadow's full. Okay, fine. And then... Okay. Alright. So now I have the gear off of my hirelings, and I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to start dismissing people because I don't need them. I don't know if they actually took my money or not. But regardless, I'm at 2,400 gold. I think it takes 100 gold to create each person. I can't recall necessarily. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is rearrange my people based on their hit points to put the beefier people up front. So Quiet Riot is beefy. So let's go here and exchange it up here. And then Fat Shadow is pretty beefy. Twinkle is horrifyingly light. So I'm gonna exchange him with Hidden Hunk and pop this up to here. Okay, fantastic. Now we have our party from start to finish in terms of hit points, which is the way that we want to go for now. The next order of business is to equip everyone with the gear that they can use out of what I've got here. So ninjas can't use shields, but they can sure use gauntlets and boots. I think they can use scale armor. Let's see here. Okay, sure. Alright, so anything that they can't use, I'll move it down to, just kind of move it down the line here. The shield and the rope and hooks I'm just going to keep. Helm I can equip. Leather boots I already have. Short sword moving on down. So again, I'm just pushing the number key and then pushing F2 to throw these down to the next person. Okay, let's go to F2 and give them the best of what we've got. The scale armor is the strongest armor I believe that I have right now, so I'm going to equip that. And let's see. Let's give them gauntlets, boots. A cutlass seems good, but you can't use it. Can you use a sword? Good God. Okay, well, let's give you the helm. And let's start throwing stuff down that we don't need. Okay, gauntlets to F3. F3, okay. Alright, Hidden Hunk, what can you even equip? I know you can wear this armor, and I know you can wear the gauntlets and the boots. I feel like, yeah, this dude has some stuff. So Fat Shadow's got some things that he can equip. Oh, he has a cloak. That's fantastic. I'm actually going to send that up to the front lines. Can you use that dagger? Yeah, you can. Can you use this? Well, the leather armor I know you can use. absolutely needs to be equipped. The boots. Yep. Do you have armor? You do. I'm going to put everything at this point that's unequipable down to F6 and just let Twinkle sort it out later. Let's see. So I'm going to need to sell all this stuff. The shield, the leather gauntlets need to be equipped. The leather boots we already have, fantastically enough. So I'm going to push this over to Lady Green. Cudgel I'll throw to Lady Green. Scale armor. Nice. Hidden Hunk, what are you wearing? Leather? What are you wearing? Leather? That's great. Alright, well, it looks like Lady Green is going to get scale armor. I mean, in an intelligent world, I would put the people up at the front with scale armor, but I don't think the difference between scale and leather is too appreciable, and I'm just being sloppy. But I'll check the armor class after this is all done and see if there's a reason to move them around. Alright, more boots. Cutlass, we know we can't use that. Alright, let's check out Lady Green. Alright, yeah, so the equipment is getting really scant at this point. Twinkle, I don't even know if you have anything that you can equip. Okay, you can equip this mace, which is great. And the leather armor. And the boots. Alright. Fantastic. So, just a little housekeeping thing. This is a game from 1991, so it doesn't have a lot of the tidying stuff that you know I'm used to in contemporary games. There's not a paper doll for your characters, so you can get a visual on what is equipped where, but they do have the nice little icons. Now, one thing you might notice here with Twinkle is that his boots are all the way at the bottom of this list of unequipable stuff, so I might forget, like, oh, he does have boots on. So one thing you can do is just click the item, and then once you have it highlighted, you can just select him again, and it just gives it back to him, but it puts it down at the bottom of the stack, so you can shift up all the stuff that's equipped to the top for easy reference, so you can see, okay, this guy, you know, has a weapon in one hand, he's got armor, and he's got boots, but that's it. And at this point, I've equipped all of the stuff that I can. So what I'm going to do is just go to this larger screen and check out, so he has an armor class of 5. Hairy Hand is at 10. Quiet Riot is at 9. Hidden Hunk is at 6. So maybe I will switch up that armor. 6. No. Everybody is reasonable there, but I think the main takeaway that I'm getting here is that I only have one bow. Okay, put this awesome cloak on. Okay, and that's terrifying. So I need to go to the shop and get bows as soon as humanly possible. Now, one of the things is I'm pushing tab here to open the control panel, and I really needed to just save my game. And again, unlike contemporary games, I'm not getting a choice of multiple save files. So, you know, this game, you can make serious mistakes, things that are undoable, and so you really need to save often, and once you have saved over your game, there is no going back, so you just need to be mindful of that. Now, one once we're equipped, we're ready to go. The party is set. I've put everybody in the order based on their hit points to kind of tank any encounters, and I'm taking a step forward. You see that my view changes, and as I look to my left and right, I am flanked by amazing fountains. And let's just get closer. And when I get closer to the fountain, the faces jump out at me. Beautiful women this time, and in their hands, water is trickling down incessantly, as water is wont to do in a fountain. And I noticed that all of her eyes are looking at me. Even the profile faces have their eyes askance, so there's this kind of eeriness to this fountain, and the description says, green ooze surges in the fountain's bowl. Throw in a coin. Okay, so we know that the town of Fountainhead here, aptly named because of the fountains, is overrun by moose rats and green ooze. So it's not good that green ooze is coming out of this fountain. But I'm going to throw in a coin anyway, just to, kind of see if I can get in good with the ooze people. And I do so, and the coin sinks in the sludge. So I receive nothing except, the satisfaction of destroying money, which, in an anti-capitalistic way, that's an act of freedom. But for me, I kind of need my money because I need to buy a boat. So I'm going to just not do that again. And I'm actually interested if I bring up the party screen again, you will notice that I have 2,399 gold. So it actually did take one gold coin away from my money. That wasn't just a throwaway line. That is money. So I have the option, if I were so inclined, and I really wanted to make this a challenge, I could destroy all my equipment, get rid of it, and then throw every single gold coin I have into the fountain. Just let it dissolve in the sludge and just start with nothing. And have a real kind of survival horror adventure in front of me. I don't want to do that in any way. I'm not going to sit here and watch 2,400 coins sink into the sludge, but, to each his or her own. Now, as you recall, the map has started to expand as I've moved around a little bit. So this is the inside of the 40 Winks Tavern. It just takes up one little square. It's kind of like a tent in Harry Potter at the Quidditch World Cup, where it's been magically expanded on the inside for everybody to sleep in there. But for now, I believe I'm here at this X. And so I'm going to move around a bit and kind of take in the sights so I can try to find the weapon shop. And as you see, although I'm moving, I don't seem to be making too much headway on the map itself. I come over here, and behind this really nice but secure gate is a portal, and these portals are awesome. They let you get back to the town easily with spells. I don't have that right now, but if I did, I'd be excited about that. I can get through this door at some point when I have two people up front who are strong enough to bash through it. So, if I click bash, apparently my two front people were strong enough to destroy that. So they kind of threw their shoulder into it and just disrupted the very stone, the masonry itself. So either I'm incredibly strong, or these walls are made of just very flimsy stone. I don't know. Could be a combination. But either way, you'll also notice that my characters in the front were injured by that, so it hurt them to do that. So you have to be careful. You don't want to just hold down the bash thing, because you can actually kill your people, I believe, by bashing too hard and too frequently. As I step up to this portal, I see this amazingly magic screen. So there's 2 dragons on each side, which, okay, I'm pro dragon, that's great. There's some nice gems on the top, which I wish I could pry loose. And then there's really upsetting clawed bird feet on the bottom of this thing. And in the picture, there's a twinkling night sky with a stream coming out of the mountain, spilling into a still pool that is reflecting the moon. It's a very beautiful scene, and we know that this is where we want to go. So it says fleeting images shimmer in the silvered pane like reflections in a lake. Now, we've got this simile here, like reflections in a lake, and yet I am seeing reflections in a lake. So I don't know why we need to make this comparison, because I see what is being described. Anyway, speak your destination and be carried away more. Enter your destination. Now, you learn passwords in the game to get you to certain points. So if you find a portal later, you can teleport to a town or a portal by knowing its password. You have to kind of like type it in, so you have to remember these things. Now, I know some of these town passwords because I've played this before, but I'm going to pretend that I don't remember them, and I'm not going to go anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere anyway at this point, because I'd just be instantly killed by teleporting and going outside of my depth. I'm already terrified of the prospect of any kind of moose rats or green sludge coming at me. Temple Greenleaf. Okay, so this is the temple. Now, again, if I look at my map, I haven't revealed any of it yet, and I believe that you can get a skill called Pathfinding, which will automatically map your progress once you've stepped on it, so it'll fill in this map for you, which is extremely useful. And I think that there is a person in this town that can train my people in that skill for a fee. If I recall correctly, you only need 1 person alive with that skill for it to activate, but people die all the time in this, so it's always, been my practice to kind of train everybody and everything, which you can do, and it's nice. It just gets really expensive later on. So here's Temple Greenleaf. Now I'm going to go in just to check it out. And what do we have here? Alright, so this seems like a real mellow place. Very chill. The candles are flickering a little faster than I'd like, but let's just see what this says. 2 robed figures stand motionless and silent as a hushed voice escapes from deep within a misting vat. Help you seek? Alright, so it's Yoda inside the vat talking to me, and these dudes or ladies, I don't know, don't even acknowledge my presence. They're deep in their meditation practice of looking at this big cooking pot with, I don't know if those are hands kind of reaching out from the sides, if it's some kind of handle, or if there were balls in this cauldron that exploded outward and kind of stretched the metal like they were doing some fun science experiments here. I don't really understand what's happening, but I do know that something inside the vat is talking, and it's mesmerized these people and mesmerized me as well. Although I will say that these purple drapes are quite lovely. They've got the table skirt matching them, and a view outside of maybe the ocean and the sky, although the clouds aren't moving, but still just an amazing view. These purple drapes remind me of Ned Flanders and Marge's foray into the real estate world. But anyway, let's say I want help. What happens? Okay. So, at this place, you can either get yourself healed, which is just a kind of general thing. I think it takes care of all status ailments on you except for Curse, which has its own category. It takes care of your hit points. It takes care of any of the many status ailments that you can get in this game. And the price scales based on your level of injury. So, for example, Hidden Hunk is just in tip-top shape, just a model of health, a beacon of health, and he doesn't need any kind of help at this point, so he costs 0. However, we know that Hairy Hand and Quiet Riot attempted to bash. Well, they successfully bashed through the door, but they hurt themselves. And for a small fee, I can heal them. And I'm just going to do that because I'm a nice guy. Now, I don't know if we throw the money into the pot or if we give it to these guys or, I don't see a collection plate. But anyway, I'm just going to pretend I throw it in there. And, maybe this thing like Calcifer just eats it. Like Calcifer eats those eggs. I don't know. But I do want to mention that you can donate here. And I'll just do this a little bit. Like if you're a baller and you've got a bunch of money, you can do these donations. And eventually they start giving you buffs, which are actually really good. And for 10 gold, it's a good fee. When you go to later towns, I think they escalate the price of everything to kind of scale up with your gold, and it gets impressive. But you can always, just like in Final Fantasy I, teleport or ride your airship. Well, there's no airship in this, but just go back to the first town and sleep in the inn for that nice 30 gold stay, as opposed to paying the exorbitant prices at the later towns in the game. So if you want to get buffs, I can click donation, and at first it does nothing. But as I start to buff him, it looks like 3 times, he gets all of these buffs. And they do, I can't remember exactly how to ascertain what they do. But I think if I look at my detailed character record sheet, I could see which stats have been buffed. There's a sword, a shield, I'm assuming attack and defense have been buffed. And then this medal, so, I've risen in the ranks of prestige. I think it actually augments your level somewhat, but let's just take a look to recall what's going on here. So, as you can see by looking at this, my armor class has been augmented by 3 by the buff. So that's very good. And my condition is +++. If I click on this, I can actually get a breakdown of the buffs that they've given me. So my condition is good, meaning I'm not poisoned or confused or anything. I've been blessed at +3. I've been given +3 of power shield, a holy bonus of +3, and heroism +3. As for what those things do, I can't really click on that to find out. I'm sure the documentation would help me out. But no, it doesn't augment my level. But my armor class has certainly been helped. And none of my other stats seem to have risen themselves. What skill do you have? You have thievery. Oh, all my ninjas are going to start with the same skill. And those are thievery. I think if you create a ranger, they start with pathfinding, so you can, have the map happening for you. I wonder if heroism gives you some kind of bonus to experience gain. Anyway, it's a good thing to have some buffs, but I don't need that right now. So I'm just gonna mentally remember where the temple is so I can get healed. The other way to heal yourself in this is to rest, which is like the most common thing that you'll do. You just put everybody asleep, and then they can get their hit points back. But you have to be very careful where you rest. If you rest in the field, the enemies kind of move around, and they can ambush you and wake you up in the middle of your rest. So you don't want that to happen. And you consume food when you are resting, depending on how long you rest. So you always have to have food, or your people won't heal themselves, and that's a bummer. Okay, so written on the wall, very nicely, it says, "Ye faithful subjects of King Righteous, deliver the ultimate power orbs to Castle Whiteshield." Okay, I didn't know. I'm not a subject of King Righteous as far as I know, but he seems to be a good dude. Seems to be, the kind of king that I support. I'm a party of good people. He's a really righteous person, so maybe the power orb should go to him. Oh, and if I'm recalling correctly, I think there's an evil guy who wants the power orbs, and maybe a neutral guy too. And so you can just distribute them as you wish based on your alignment, and it has some kind of effect on the power struggle, if I remember, but I could be just completely wrong about that. All right, now, through this gate, I want to point out a few things here. The bat's mouth is opening and closing, and that indicates that there's a monster nearby. So if it was dark or something and I couldn't see, or there was something blocking, I would know, oh crap, there's danger around. Now I can see through here that there is a moose rat, and although he's obscured somewhat by this gate, let's just take a moment to look at his size. He's as big as this doorway. Okay, so he looks like he's at least 5 feet tall, and that is massive. All right, so a moose rat is going to be a formidable foe. Now, I could just knock this down and fight it if I wanted, but I'm not really in the mood yet. I need to outfit my people with better gear. I also see in the background here there's some green action happening, which I think is probably one of the green ooze people. So I'd get, into a lot of trouble by bashing that down. So I'm going to avoid doing that right now and look for some shops. Okay. This is Zahab's vaults. I believe this is the bank, and the bank is extremely useful because I think if you die, you lose a portion of your money, if not all of it, or there's some kind of hit that you take, and so you can put your money here to protect it upon death. Oh, and the bank's closed. Come back between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. What time is it? Son of a gun. It is 8:59 a.m. Boy, they are not, doing the early bird thing here. But I think each step progresses time. Yep, by 1 minute here. So now I can go into the bank and see what they offer. My God. Alright, this is a dank establishment. Not, I guess, what I expected of a bank. Not the polished marble floors and the welcoming that I would assume. But let's just take a look at the text description. Zahab, keeper of the gold, sits behind a pile of coins, guarded by the mighty Myron. Welcome to my humble vaults. Can I help you? Alright, so this is the usurer, or maybe just a regular straight-up dude who is interested in protecting money and not extorting people who need a loan. But I'm looking around, and the coins that he's just dropping up and down in his hands are something that I really would like. It looks like he's got a little green bottle there. I don't know if that's just booze, so he just kind of drinks, and then he does have a nice maybe cup of coffee with his candle. He just drinks coffee and whiskey and counts his money, which, I mean, that's a day's work right there. That sounds, I'm interested. Now, he's got some treasure chests behind him, and if I look directly behind him over his shoulders, there is a nice vault with a huge gate that I'm not going to be bashing my way through. And it's filled with treasure, and I'm salivating. But then I look over to the left at the guy guarding this treasure, and this is the mighty Myron. Now, Myron is an unbelievably gorgeous bank guard. I haven't seen a tanned, muscled, oiled person like this in quite some time, and I can tell you I'm intrigued. He's got jet black boots, very kinky, and then he has what appears to be a wrestler's one piece on, maybe, or is the woman's bathing suit. I'm not sure what's going on, but I like it. It's nice and revealing. That's what we want. Those quadriceps need to be in full display. Now he's got one gold bracelet, so maybe Zahab kicked him back a little bit, but he couldn't quite go for the gold helmet. He has metallic, maybe a steel or iron helmet, so he's saving up for the gold helmet to match his gold bathing suit and bracelet. Beside him, he has a huge battle axe, which, he's telling you, just give me a reason, and he's blinking very, very frequently at me, while the rest of his face remains passive, and in stone. And when I look at this bank, one thing I want to say is it has this mysterious and kind of creepy music. And I think the real secret here is that the money is a front. Zahab is counting his coins right up in front of me. He's got the money all involved to kind of distract me. Everything here is a distraction for the real treasure, which is Myron. And Myron, is back there, disguised as a guard, but we all know, everyone in the town knows, that Zahab's prized possession, or, I hate to objectify their relationship like that, because it's spiritual and deeper than that, but the real love here is not money, it's of Myron. And so everything is just kind of a fringe benefit of the fact that they get to work together and have a professional and personal relationship. Now, I'm going to just pretend like I don't know what's going on, like I'm not hip, and I am going to see what I can do in terms of business services. So say yes, and I can, at the Bank of Kankomar, deposit gold and gems. In addition to protecting the money, I believe over time your stuff actually accrues interest. So it's like you're doing a nice savings account with Zahab, and so you can make some passive income if you survive long enough. And this is a good investment. It gives you an excuse to come back and see Myron whenever you want. And it does make you money. I don't know what happens when I leave, but dimes to donuts, that red cap comes off of Zahab's head. Myron drops the whole tough guy act. But I could be totally wrong about that. I mean, maybe Zahab keeps the head on. Maybe it's the brown robe that comes off. I don't know. But either way, this is a lovely place. I just don't have enough money to make this a reality at the moment. So I'm out. Okay, back to the town. So we found the bank. And we found a desk with a lamp behind it. Now, these desks, it looks like there's nobody here, but if I approach, there is this dude. So this guy is Cypher, the chart maker, okay? And He says, Cypher looks up from a table littered with scrolls and ink bottles. Would you like me to show you the ways of map making for 25 gold? Okay, so the pathfinding thing that I said I was wrong about, maybe that's for finding your way around outside, or maybe you have to have pathfinding to walk through rough terrain, forests or hills or something. Anyway, this is what I want. This is going to help me fill in my map. So I'm going to say yes to this. And then it says select which character. So you can like train whomever you wish in map making. But as I said before, if the person who is the map maker is dead and you're trying to map, there ain't no mapping going to happen. Wow, that was a pretty amazing rhyme. I think that might be the title of my autobiography. I'm going to put that on a list and save it for later. But anyway, we train everyone in this because we don't want a situation where there ain't no mapping going to happen. We always want mapping. So I'm going to train everybody. And once you train one person, they kick you out. Cypher, goes back to his charts. But you can just push space and engage him again, like knock over his ink bottle, get his attention or something, and then I'm going to keep moving down the list, training every single person. It's only 25 gold, and I've got, 2,400 or around about, so this is a worthwhile investment. Now, you'll notice if I take a step, my map starts to fill in. Okay, this is odd jobs. I think if I go in here, it's filled with moose rats. Oh, good. It's not. Maybe it's a different room. Okay, thank God. I wasn't ready for that. Okay, so I'm going to step around using the arrow keys to map out the area. And as you can see, I'm the X up here, and now I can actually make sense of this place. And so this is Ergon the Taskmaster. Much work could you do in a week? 50 gold is the wage. Labor for me, will you? Okay, so this is an interesting thing about the game, which is that the passage of time is very important. There's lots of quests and things that key off with that. Additionally, no, I'm not going to do it. If you look at your people, they have an age. So, like, I think all of my people, because I created them new, are young and spry. They're all 18. This can be augmented by spells that can, preternaturally age you. There's effects that do that, and it's a bummer because as you start to get older, your stats deteriorate, and you don't want that to happen. And so, if you work for this guy, you will get 50 gold. But a week of the game time will pass and you will age a week. Now, this can be useful if you want to age a lot. You can just keep working for this dude. But I'm not in a position where I want to work, nor am I in a position where 50 gold is anything to me. So I'm out. I say no thank you. Now, as I move back, I see this written on the wall. It says, "The call of adventure is a call to roam. Return again by saying home." Okay, now this is a little nice rhyming couplet that I have engraved upon the door to my bathroom. But you'll notice that the word home is in all caps, and that's because that is the word for the portal and teleporting back to this town. So if I ever want to come back to Fountainhead through a portal, I can type in home and I will arrive here. So that's what that's all about. Okay, so let's take a stroll and try to find ourselves something like a weapon shop. Okay, so now I've got a little corridor with another desk. What are you up to? PG the Apprentice, or Peggy, or Peggy. I'm gonna go with Peggy. Peggy's face flashes in and out. You seem like more than an apprentice to me with glowing red eyes, but then again, I don't know what you're going for. And Peggy says, friends, I'm no beggar, but I'm short 50 gold for materials for my studies. For me studies. If you helps me, I can give you membership to Raven's Guild. Okay. And so, Raven's Guild is the place in town where you can buy spells. Now, I don't think that ninjas can cast spells right off the bat. I don't recall. But I'm going to do this anyway because, number one, I like having an awesome screen of like perks and things for all of my people. And number two, I like supporting an apprentice on her studies. So now she's got plenty of gold to study whatever it is. I'm hoping she's not studying the demise of my party, but maybe it's good to have that information. I don't know. Now, if I click F1, and I go to awards, I see that I'm a Ravens Guild member. So this is an accolade that stays with me forever. And it's great to have some awards. And now if I look at my skills, you'll see that I have thievery, and I guess that's at level 7. And I also have my map making, my cartography here. Does anybody have like a different? Is everybody's thievery the same? It's not affected by your speed or anything like that. This dude's a swimmer. I don't know what Hidden Hunk did. You know what? Of course, Hidden Hunk's a lifeguard. I mean, look at this guy. Or a cabana boy. I'm not sure. Actually, no, he's a cabana boy. He's cleaning your pool, working at the bar, getting a tan. Yes, eye candy for cougars, everything. Okay, so there's that. He has danger sense. I think these skills must be racial, so humans get swimming for some reason. Dwarves get danger sense. Do you also... Yeah, she gets swimming too, because she's a human, and then you're a gnome, dude. Isn't cool? Spot secret doors. Oh, okay, that's fun. Danger sense, I think, is the skill that makes that bat mouth open when enemies are near, and spot secret door is the skill that makes this little lizard's hand move when there's a secret door nearby. No, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Actually, ever again. I'm done with you forever. And here we are. Fenn's Fineries, the weapon shop. And so I'm going to take a step inside and see my buddy Fenn. A stubby warrior stands proudly by a gleaming treasure of weapons, armor, and general goods. Exquisite, yes? Price is good. You browse? Alright, so, Fenn doesn't appear to speak the best English. That's okay. His wares more than make up for it. It looks like he's got some pretty nice stuff here. I don't know if this is a gold lightsaber or just a regular sword. It looks great. This golden breastplate looks like something that Myron would wear. And because it's cut off at the waist, it would definitely be a nice treat to put him in that. He's got arrows, rope, crossbow, shields, a huge hourglass. I'm not sure who would want that or need that, but I guess if you really want to know the time, like it's the Prince of Persia type scenario, maybe that's worthwhile. So let's browse. Alright. And it's interesting, you buy stuff person by person. So it goes, whatever you buy, is going to go into their inventory. Now, what's really cool about the shop, you know, at least it's not as unfriendly as some other games of the era or before. If there is an icon of a hand or a weapon by the weapon, that means that this dude can equip it. If there isn't one, that means that he can't. So ninjas, like we saw before, cannot equip a short sword or a cutlass, so these are out of bounds. Now, when I look at ninja stuff, I see nunchucks, nunchakas, I see wakizashi, excellent, all of this stuff, staff, perfect. Now, I definitely want this short bow, that has to happen. Okay, in the miscellaneous section, they've got a cloak. I know I need a helmet. I know I need one of those for somebody. Bronze scarab, does that actually do anything? Does it give you any kind of defense? I don't think so. It's pretty sweet. Like, there's all these different equipment slots. You can wear a medal, which kind of like, maybe it's just supposed to be a necklace or something. But later they get enchantments that get really powerful. This, I don't know if it does anything important. I need a torch for sure. I don't know if any of my people can cast light. And then armor. He doesn't have too much for sale, but he does have 2 sets of scale. And so I'm going to buy both sets of scale. Now, if I had a diverse party, I would be clicking around on each person to see what they could equip before I bought stuff. But because I know that we're all ninjas, I can just kind of click on one person. Now, I'm going to go to my inventory just to remind myself of who needs a weapon. He has an axe. Quiet Riot has no weapon. Hidden Hunk has no weapon. You have a Fat Shadow has a dagger. Lady Green has no weapon. And Twinkle has a mace. So I need a lot of weapons. I need 1, 2... This dagger sucks. 3, 4 weapons at the very least. Stuff can get broken. I think it happens when you die, that your stuff just gets busted. There's other things that can do that. You need to come fix it. Identify is extremely useful if you don't know what something is. Or, actually, let me try this. Like, I want to identify these leather boots. And it costs 1 gold. Okay. You can get a spell, I think, that does this later. But for now, this is really cool because, you know, even for a regular item like the leather boots, it's nice to know what the hell it does. And this just gives you +1 armor. And it says everybody can use this, everyone's proficient in it, and it does nothing else. Okay? So that's a useful thing to do if you're just not sure. Like, for example, like if you want to know what weapon does the most damage, you could do that. Now I'm going to buy this. I'm just going off of whatever weapon is the most expensive is going to be the most damaging. I don't know if that logic is wise, but that's where I'm at. And I am going to exit. And I'm going to go to my inventory and I'm going to start equipping things. So I definitely am going to give you a bow. Oh, okay. I can't actually equip things on that inventory screen. I can only look at people's inventory. So let's go back here and let's start equipping people. Okay, so you have a bow now. You already have a cloak and a helm, so I'm going to move these down the line. So F2, F2. You can keep the torch. You already have scale, so I'm going to put that F2, F2, and then now we're done. You have scale, but you don't have a cloak, so we're going to equip that. You have a helm, so that'll go to F3, F3, F3. Where did all the weapons go? Okay. First of all, we're going to remove the leather armor and equip the scale, and we will equip the helm. 6 goes to F4, 1 goes to F4, F4. You have leather right now, so I'm going to remove leather. I'm going to put on the scale. I'm going to send all the torches to F1. This will go to F5. 5 will go to F5. 6 will go to F5. F5 got all the weapons. Okay, so Lady Green got all the weapons. I'll give her the nunchucks. I'm going to take the staff and throw it up to Quiet Rider. I'll take the bronze Wakazashi and put it to Hidden Hunk. He's got the highest might, I think. And then let's see what else you can actually equip. Nothing. Nothing that I have. So I'm going to take this and give it to my man here. And I'm going to take the leather armor and give it to my man, and the leather armor, and it goes to Twinkle. Twinkle, you have a mace, which is actually probably pretty good. And you have leather armor, which is fine. Okay, everything else you can't equip. I think I'm going to take this cudgel, and I'm going to throw it over here to F4. F4, we're going to get rid of your dagger, and I'm going to buy, or equip the cudgel. Okay. Now, from this point, now that I've got everybody equipped the most that they can, I'm going to sell stuff. Now, he does not replenish his inventory immediately. I can't remember if he does it, like if I were to go to rest in the inn, or if I were to pass an entire day if he gets everything back, or if it takes a week for him to restock. But either way, we are going to want as many bows in the party as we can possibly get, and we have 2. And we also want the miscellaneous accessories. So I don't think we actually have gauntlets and boots for everybody, so I'm going to buy all that. And then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go into my inventory, and I'm going to go to Twinkle, and I'm going to start selling stuff. So sell number 4 for 50. Yeah. So they tell you the sell price over on the right, and for sell yes, for sell yes, sell for yes, for sell yes, for sell yes, for sell yes. We can actually equip that cudgel, but we don't need it. So we made a little bit of our money back, small portion. And from there, what I want to do is go into my inventory. Oh my god. I keep pushing I for inventory like that's going to help me, but it does not. But it's easier enough just to click F1 and then click I. Okay, so you've got gauntlets and boots, so we will just kind of push everything down the line, because what we want to do is make sure that the people up in the front have the most armor class, because they're kind of positionally in the front of the combat, and so if there's an enemy in front, they have a higher probability of taking that hit, I believe, and so you want them to be as stout as possible. Alright, so let's equip your weapon, and you already do have gauntlets and boots, so we're going to just throw these to Fat Shadow. Fat Shadow, what do you got? You got boots and gauntlets. My goodness. Did I not need these? Okay, you did need gauntlets. Right, so somebody needed something. And then boots, can I give these to... Sorry, you did have boots. Okay, well, that's fine for now. Alright, so we are, at this point, fully equipped. And we are outfitted in, the best armor that we can get at the moment, and everyone's in the right order. Hairy Hand is buffed up, and I think we are ready to just kind of save the game and take a break before we actually start exploring more and getting into trouble. Now, again, I'm going to open my map, and you can see that I've made some significant progress in charting out the territory. And next time, we will continue exploring Fountainhead, try and race some levels, get some more skills, and fight some moose rats. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have an excellent rest of your day.